Let's go to Gary in Cornwall. Reference vaccines. Gary, what are you thinking? Good afternoon.
Hi. Yeah, thanks for taking my call.
Pleasure.
I was put on the vaccine list, and I was given vaccines early because I had suffered from a blood clotting condition. And during the sort of various stages of the vaccines, I got iller and iller, sicker and sicker. I couldn't even do up my shoelaces at one stage.
Wow.
And then I was diagnosed with heart failure. I didn't even know what that was, to be fair. And then, according to the heart specialist, I developed a condition in my heart through, probably more than likely through the vaccines. I was given 6 months when I was initially diagnosed in 2022. If I didn't respond to the treatment I was given, then yeah, it would have been 6 months. So
wow,
there's no way on earth I'd take another vaccine.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't.
What about? I mean, prior to that, you probably had vaccines as a kid, and you might have had. I don't know whether you had a flu one or not, but what? I guess you didn't think twice, like most people, when the vaccines.
No, I didn't.
Around.
I just went along with the advice, just went along with taking the vaccines when I was told to take them. But as I say, I became so ill.
Yeah.
I was rushed into hospital a couple of times. I literally thought I was going to die.
How many vaccines did you have, just out of interest?
Do you know what? I can't remember. I took all of the vaccines. Everything that was offered, I took. And as I say, I just became so ill.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand why. And luckily, I've responded to the treatment I've been given, which has been fantastic, to be fair. But yeah, apparently it's all down to the vaccine.
And how are you now?
Likely cause. Sorry?
How are you now?
Yeah, I'm much better. I mean, I'd gone down to 15% of my heart capacity.
Yeah.
And I'm now up to about 50%.
Did you ever have COVID?
I had to, you know, funny enough, I caught COVID when I was in hospital.
Yeah, a lot of people found themselves in that curious place. Yeah, I mean, in some respects, it makes sense that people might get that in hospital. In another respect, it makes no sense, if that makes sense.
But what I will say is when I was in hospital and I caught COVID, I was put on a COVID ward, but I mean, the nurses and they had no PPE, nothing, because it had got to that sort of stage where we were over the initial period of it. There were builders working in there, you know, they were doing renovations on the wards.
Yeah.
There was nothing. They had nothing at all. They were going outside the ward. I could, if I wanted to, I could go outside the ward, and I had COVID.
Yeah.
You know, I could have spread it around that hospital, and it to me, it was just completely ludicrous. It was ridiculous.
And I think this debate in so many forms and tangents, Gary, is going to continue. I'm glad you're on the up, and thank you for that call. I did see some response from one of the drug. I think this was about blood clotting rather than heart issues, where they said they literally don't know why the vaccine behaves that way in some people. They didn't have an answer for it. Their own research couldn't establish why part of the vaccine takes that turn, which in itself is interesting.